First of all, can we clap it up for a game that actually works on launch? Because yeah, that's how low the bar is. But this game, it was supposed to launch like a while ago. Originally, it was going to be a PvE game, like just strictly that. And they were testing that older version of Arc Raiders, and they were like, dang, this game is boring. So they delayed it, decided to make it PvP VE, what it is now instead. And in that time, the finals ended up getting finished. So then that released first. That ended up being Embark Studios' first game. But almost 2 years after the finals came out, Arc Raiders finally came out. And again, it works. Like there's no massive server crashing or login issues, anything like that. And I was gonna make a first impressions video, but as I was trying to write out some of the stuff, I'm like, I'm really about to say everything that everybody else is saying, so I just skipped that. I gave it a little more time to marinate. They ended up dropping the roadmap, so I'm kind of glad I waited for even just for that. And yeah, just putting some more time into it, playing solo, playing with people, getting all the different aspects of the game nailed down in my head before I actually talk about it, and decide if I like really like the game or if it was just like Embark's other game. So yeah, I'm gonna try it. But yeah, the atmosphere and really the sound design of the game is like my favorite part of it overall. I mean, when it's just like shots in the distance, you can actually tell where they're coming from, kind of get a gauge of distance, how far people are, how many of them are firing at the arcs, the noises the arc make, how the guns sound, even the music. Normally in games, I cut music off. Like in every game, including the finals, I just cut the music off. In this game, I've actually left it on, which is very strange, but I think it actually adds to the immersion of it. I think immersion is something they're pretty good at. And like the whole atmosphere of it is like Star Wars colony, Destiny 1 tower kind of thing. And I really like that they use just visual effects instead of hit markers. Like you can actually tell when you're shooting somebody's shield, when they're on flesh, and then the flare goes up when they go down. I think the guns all feel pretty distinct, but besides that, that's like the general things I've enjoyed about it so far, because normally I don't like extraction shooters like that. The only one I've put any amount of time into before this was Frontier, the Cycle Frontier. That was the only one I spent any amount of hours in. It would have also been Hyenas, the game by Sega. They didn't even make it out of alpha, and I don't know why. The alpha was really fun. Like that would have been the extraction shooter I really would have played. They had like a whole zero gravity thing going on. I thought that game was pretty solid. Had one really annoying character, but it was fine. But that's besides the point. That game is not coming back. With Arc Raiders, I think what would actually keep me playing is like the obvious part of like, you know, wanting to get better loot, wanting to get higher up in the levels, really explore all the maps, things like that. But really the extraction loop in itself, that gameplay loop being faster or slower, as fast as or slow as you want. I felt like in Frontier, it was always going to be slow paced, like no matter what I did, unless I really just started letting shots off everywhere I went, but I'm not trying to do that. But with Arc Raiders, if I want to fight people, like it's usually not super hard to find somebody if that's what I really want to do. Like with the feats that are in the game, that gets you the credits for the decks. The decks are basically a battle pass. A lot of times I'll get a challenge. It'll be like damage raiders with light ammo or with medium ammo. I'm like, okay, yeah, gotta go hawk somebody down, and it's not hard for me to do that. How they've gone about the currencies, I think, is pretty good too. With the credits, it's pretty easy to get. The feats are re-rolling and just refreshing all the time, so they're really not all that hard to stack up. You go through the deck. The further you get into it, you can get the premium currency from that, and as you go through the deck, you can get the premium currency from that. Plus, they had like they did have one server issue, and they gave everybody like 500 coins, I think. So I'm just trying to stack between that and the deck. I'm trying to get this Booney skin. Like this thing without the hat is tough. I actually enjoyed learning all the different like systems in the game as far as all the crafting, all the loot, how all of that works together. Because at first I was like, I'm gonna be honest, after the first 2 days, I was like, I don't know how much I'm gonna play this game, honestly. Then I watched a few tip videos. I was trying to refrain from doing that, but I finally watched a few just to try to understand before I make any decision. So I was like, okay, now that I have a basic understanding, I started getting into the loops of like, okay, I need to go to this place for this thing, regardless of the story missions that I have, so I can get this gun because I want to build this bench or whatever it is. To be fair, maybe I never got to that point with Cycle Frontier, and I'm not touching Tarkov, so you know, there is that. The other thing is, it is Embark, like one of the few dev studios I have a good opinion of. Most of them I'm usually just like, I have no opinion, or it's like I expect them to do something dumb. And it don't even really be the dev studios, it's usually because of their publisher. So like Apex, for example, because with their other game, the finals, that game lost a lot of players pretty quickly, but they stuck with it They listened to the people that was playing, and you know, if you like the finals, it's still there. One thing I do want to see from them long term also is storytelling. Just expanding with the quests that they have, making them more in depth, that they're not so cookie cutter. And I expected them to be from the jump. I expect that from pretty much any looter shooter game, whether it's extraction or not. I expect the missions to get cookie cutter. But yeah, adding more storytelling into the game as time goes on, I think will be cool. Even maybe having some cinematic cutscenes that they have on like the YouTube channel, or they just play them in the game. They could do that too, or both really. For example, Apex has stories from the Outlands. They've done those for, I think, since the game came out. I'm pretty sure, and they're pretty good. Like not Apex, Respawn could have a Netflix show if they really wanted to on some arcane type. But yeah, I just want them to detail and grow the universe they got going on over time. They got a good thing going with Speranza and Topside, like the whole just different zones and stuff. They had like the first wave, Celeste, she's one of the characters, like first wave of raiders, I'm assuming. And then there's like the second wave, and then they could just, you know, build off that, bring the stuff from the codex into a video form. But yeah, after putting some time in, I think I'm level 13 or 14, so I'm not like super high up. That man Staycation, oh, that man is like level 55 or something. He's, I kid you not, I looked at his stream, it says 16 hours on the first day, and I think he did it again the second day. So I'm glad somebody having fun. I didn't do that, but I am enjoying the game. I think I'll keep playing it. How much content I'll make on it, I'm not sure, but there are a few other things. One, like I said, didn't have any performance issues with the game, which this day and age, that is a miracle. Also, the price being $40 and not $60 or $70. Even the deluxe version of the game isn't $70, it's $60. And also, I think the microtransactions are also pretty tame. I think the finals is definitely a little cheaper in that regard, considering how much customization that game has. It has way more than Arc Raiders does, and the prices are still cheaper. So this game is a little more expensive in that regard, but it's still not egregious or anything like that. Bundles are like $10 to $20. There might be like a $5 one in there. You get like the character skin itself, and it has all the different little variant pieces, like a backpack or a little side pouch you can take on or off, a mask, hat, stuff like that. And then if you get the whole bundle, you get a combination of these things. So it could be a emo, the chicken, Scrappy might get a hat, a hairstyle, a emote. I already said emote, character appearance stuff, backpack charm, things like that. Also with the battle pass, or the raider deck is what they call it. It's kind of like Helldivers 2 if you've played that, or even Skate. One of the few good things you could actually say about that game is how the battle passes are done in that game too, because you don't have to pay any money. You literally just do the challenges that are refreshing all the time that are called feats, and you can just go through the deck without spending $1. Past the $40 you pay for the game, obviously. And it's a good amount of premium currency in there too. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that. With this first one, it's been 2 skins. One is called Rider, the other is Voyager. I'm pretty sure that was the 2 names. I don't really like them all that much, but you know, free skins is free skins. And then the last thing, they dropped the roadmap like a day or 2 after the game launched. This is it. I'm gonna put some trust in your hopefully 5th grade level or above reading skills to, you know, read that. I'll also leave a link to it to their Twitter where they posted it as well if you want to read through that. Because yeah, 2 biggest things on here I'm excited for is the new map that's coming this month in November, and then next month we're getting snowfall. Like we're getting the snow on, so there's already rain, there's already the sunshine, fog, night raid, so they're adding snow into that. I'm looking forward to that. But everything else on the little image, that's really all I got to say about the game right now. I don't know how much content I'll make about the game. I'm not dropping the finals or anything like that, but Embark went 2 for 2 genuinely. So until the next video, I will see you. Leave a like, subscribe to the channel. Bye.
We work for work, you like to work, I holla in this. You know my rap was older than Chicago in December.